Good morning, friends and family. I hope you're doing great this beautiful day. Today we're going to continue reading in Galatians 3. We're going to read 21 through 29. It says, "Does this mean that the legal part of the Torah stands in opposition to God's promises? Heaven forbid. For the legal part of the Torah, which God gave, had in itself the power to give life, then righteousness really would have come by legalistically following such a Torah, God's commandments. But instead, the Tanakh, the Old Testament, shuts up everything under sin, so that what had been promised might be given on the basis of Yeshua the Messiah's trusting faithfulness to those who continue to be trustingly faithful. Now, before the time for the trusting faithfulness came, we were imprisoned in subjection to the system which results from perverting the Torah, the Old Testament commandments, into legalism, kept under guard until this yet to come trusting faithfulness will be revealed. Accordingly, the Torah functioned as a custodian until the Messiah came, so that we might be declared righteous on the ground of trusting and being faithful. But now that the time for this trusting has come, we are no longer under the custodian. For in union with the Messiah, you are all children of God through this trusting faithfulness, because as many as you were baptized in the Messiah, have clothed yourself with the Messiah, in whom there is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor freeman, neither male nor female, for in union with the Messiah Yeshua, Jesus, you are all one. Also, if you belong to the Messiah, you are seed of Abraham and heirs according to the promise." Oh, what a nice promise. Thank you, Jesus. All right. So one of the things that kind of stood out to me on these verses was the first part. It says on verse 22 that the Tanakh, the Old Testament, shuts up everything under sin. Everything means everything. So the Old Testament, a lot of the rules, the regulations, all the things and the commandments, all the things that Jesus said and put in, told the people to do, to not do, all those things point out to sin, everything under sin. Hey, again, I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? If you are, let me know. We'll declare you the next Jesus. I'm not perfect. And as much as I try, I'm sure I will probably do something that, according to the Old Testament, is wrong. But that's the whole point. It says that everything was pointed out to that, so that it will point out back to Jesus the Messiah. The Messiah is the Redeemer. There's only one person who could have done everything according to the Old Testament without sinning once. Not even once. Perfect. And that was Jesus. We needed a Redeemer. So it points back to Jesus the Messiah. Now, the promise was given through Jesus the Messiah, through faith, trusting faithfulness, and to continue to be trustingly faithful. That's verse 23. So, and then again, between the verses 22 through 24, I read, continue trusting faithfulness, trusting faithfulness, trusting faithfulness. Wow. So it is not about what we can do, because we always mess up. It's about trusting faithfulness. And then the last part there that stood out to me was the fact that it says that we were under guard, under like a checkpoint. You messed up. The Old Testament says you should not lie. Yet the other day you said something, it wasn't true. Under guard. We were on checkpoints, basically, like, oh, you messed up, oh, you messed up, oh. But it wasn't just to tell us that we messed up. It was to show us that we couldn't be perfect, that we needed that Redeemer. It was to point out that we will never be able to be perfect, and we need that Redeemer on a constant basis. Pointing back to Jesus, pointing back to the Messiah, pointing back to trusting in Him, not in us. Because that last part, it says, "For in union with the Messiah, you are all children, through the trusting faithfulness." When you come to God and you say, "I am not perfect by any means, I mess up," even if you lie, even that's all you did was lie, you mess up, I mess up, we all mess up. And Jesus says, Jesus was the one that did everything perfect, but yet paid at the cross for all of our mess ups, all of them. And then we have to be trusting and say, "Hey, Lord, I believe that you paid for all my mess ups at the cross, and I accept your perfectness, your life, your forgiveness. Please forgive me." And when you say those words and you say, "Please be Lord of my life," He becomes your Redeemer, your Messiah. And you put your trust in Him, letting Him know, "Hey, I'm not perfect, but I rely on your perfectness. And I accept your forgiveness. And I accept your love." And then you become children of God by trusting faithfulness, by trusting on what He did. By trusting that we can't do any good. We can't. As much as we want, we can't. But we trust in Him, and we trust in what He did. And then we are immersed, we are baptized in the name of the Messiah, in the name of Jesus. That means that you give up all your life, all the bad things you did in your past, and you say, "Hey, I die to myself, and I resurrect to a life with Jesus, not by myself anymore, but a life with Jesus," where He becomes the owner, the love, the person that's inside of you. You're not yourself anymore. You don't do whatever you want anymore. You want to do what Jesus wants to do in you. That's why you die to yourself and you resurrect to a new life with Jesus. And then you become clothed with yourself with Jesus. And then at last part it says that way, there's neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free man, neither male nor female, because we are in union with the Messiah Yeshua. Oh man, that's nice to be in union. You and God become one, and you and the people of God become one. They are united through the Messiah. You're all one. Also, if you belong to the Messiah, you are now seed. Remember we talked about the seed before, and I pointed out to Jesus. If Jesus is in you now, then you are seed as well of Abraham, and heirs according to the promise. And now that we are one, we become heirs. Heirs is like you're a child of God. You receive all the promises of God. You receive everything that God is. Everything. And the biggest promise is heaven. I mean, a life together with Jesus for the rest of our lives. How nice would that be? A life where there will be no more suffering or pain or anything bad. Well, may the Lord bless you. Stay close to Jesus. Stay faithful to Him. Trust in Him. It goes from, one of the things I noticed is the custodian. A custodian, it goes from being, under check, do this, do that, to a faithful, trusting relationship. I love you. That's why I do this for you. I am with you. I am in you. I am within you. That's why I don't want to do those things anymore. Not just because you have a checkpoint, but because you love them. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.